What is up, Panther family? I could not be more excited to have my guest on tonight. He is a former football player for the Georgia State football team and is now a graduate assistant and does a lot of things for the Alumni Association and things like that. My guest tonight is Mr. Chris Sibilia. Like I just mentioned, he played on the football team. Chris was just telling me off air that he started in 2016, graduated from Georgia State, and now is a huge part of the Georgia State sports family. Again, I was mentioning off air to Chris that I've been to probably 20 plus Georgia State sporting events over the last calendar year, and I've seen Chris at every single one. So he is a big part of the family, big role in the community, and really excited to have him on. So Chris, if you want to go ahead and just kind of introduce yourself to my listeners and kind of give them a little spiel on who you are, I think now would be perfect time.
So hey everyone, my name is Chris Sebelia. I was under the 2016 recruiting class by Trent Miles before he was fired, and then Coach Elliott brought me on with his team. So I started with the Georgia State football team in the spring of 2017, graduated high school early, played under Coach Elliott from 2017 to 2019 when after I graduated my undergrad, I decided to call it quits after numerous injuries. But I was blessed to still be involved with the program as I was offered a graduate assistantship in our development office with the Panther Athletic Club. And I began that in the spring of 2020, right before COVID hit. And then I've been dealing with the aftermath of COVID all the way up until now. So I will graduate here with my graduate degree in MBA here in the summer. And I've
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. So I'm going to be blessed to they seem to be wanting to keep me on a little longer, so I plan to be around for a couple of years.
Nice. Awesome. Cool. Yeah. So, I was mentioning before, you, any of my fellow alumni listening to this that maybe have gotten an email before about a tailgate meet and greet or, a bus ride to an opposing team or something like that. Mm-hmm. Probably noticed that Chris may be one of the people that you have received that email from. So could you kind of explain a little bit like what that role really means at Georgia State and, kind of what it looks like and everything?
Yeah. So the Panther Athletic Club, obviously we're the development head of the athletic department. We are the ones who fundraise for our programs, for our student athletes. We raise a bunch of money for our scholarships, the facility upgrades. That all comes through us. We're just the primary fundraising arm of the athletic department. We also, being the development team, we also plan events for our fans to get together. We typically, is with our donors and alumni, we invite back for like homecoming and stuff like that. We plan different events at every single one of our home games and some of our more popular away games, such as this last year. It was obviously Auburn, UNC, and then the bowl game. Mm-hmm. Those are the ones where we had a lot of alumni coming out to. It's just kind of a place for everyone to get together, kind of network, and just have a good time supporting the Panthers, honestly. Our goal is to just have everyone cheering as loud as they can, bleeding that blue and white. That's what we're encouraging. We're building our fan base, and we're hoping one day we can really be one of the biggest programs here in the state of Georgia.
Oh yeah, no, I think, man, if you think about it, last week on my episode with Ben, I was saying how we've been around for a little over 10 years as a program. So. Mm-hmm. The trajectory we're on, I think if we keep that up here in, 15, maybe 20 years, which sure is a long time, but, in the grand scheme of things, man, that's right around the corner. So, and I will applaud you guys. I've been to a few of the tailgating events and things like that. Like I was at the one for the bowl game, and you guys do an incredible job putting them on. The little blue Panther Santa hats that we all had at the tailgate for the Camellia Bowl on Christmas. That was just a perfect look. So, yeah, you guys have been killing it. So I'm definitely looking forward to some of the things you guys got planned going forward. So keep up the good work for sure.
Oh, definitely. We will.
Oh yeah. Awesome. Cool. So we will go ahead and jump into some of the questions here. So this first question, it's the one that I start with every single one of my guests because most of my guests are student athletes and you were a former student athlete. So in your best memory, what was your favorite part about being a Georgia State student athlete and specifically a Georgia State student athlete?
Ooh, I think it's definitely the camaraderie between the teammates. I think we were all extremely close. We're practicing year round together. I think there's only a total of, you could maybe say, a month and a half throughout the year in which we're not together.
Mhm.
The rest of the time we're with each other every single day of the week, practicing,
Right.
grinding. We all become close. We become family. And I think that's important to all of us.
Mhm.
I think so. That was my biggest part. Just seeing everyone around campus. You always say hi. You always know each other. Like, you're always gonna have someone to have your back around anywhere you go. And
Right. Right.
I still obviously keep up with a bunch of my teammates still to this day. Work with a few as well. So it's just the family continuing on. But side note, I will say beating Tennessee was probably just my favorite moment overall.
Oh yeah. I can't even imagine, man. Like I wish I would have been in Knoxville that day. I still just get so mad at myself that I didn't make the trip up there. I can't even imagine though, man. My eyes were glued to the screen that day, and like most Panthers, I think that was definitely one of my proudest moments. So,
Well,
um,
I think one thing a lot of people don't realize is, uh, as an offensive line unit, of course, you watch film every day before
right,
and
right.
after practice. That was our opening game of the season. So
Mhm.
right before the opening game, obviously we have a month of preseason football camp, which is
Mhm.
practice all day, every day, because there's no school. It's nothing. It's football all day from 6 a.m. to 10 o'clock at night for a whole month straight.
Yeah.
Day one, we sit down in that film room. We pull up Tennessee film. Our coach just pauses it. We all look at each other and we go, "Oh, we're gonna beat these guys." Like, it was without a doubt the first thing. We even made a bet amongst linemen that if when we beat them, we were going to shave our heads bald. Clearly, that did not do me any favors as I'm struggling to get that. But then every day at practice, Coach Elliott, he only played two songs on repeat: "Rocky
Uh-huh.
Top" by Dolly Parton and "Rocky Top" by the Tennessee Marching Band. Only
Nice.
songs we played at practice for a month straight. That's all we heard. So of course we all
Okay.
memorized, as players, we all memorized the lyrics.
Right, right.
Um, just happens to become hysterical with it. So fourth quarter, we at that point we knew we were definitely winning. Like, we knew
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
we were
it was
outpacing this
evident from the
team.
get-go. Yeah. Uh-huh.
We Some of us started turning around, started singing it back to the fans of Tennessee.
Nice, nice.
Seeing their faces light up with that brought so much joy, so much joy.
Right. And I bet at that point they were like, "Oh, we'll still beat these guys. We'll sing along with them." It's like, "No, man, we're taking home the dub today."
Oh yeah,
And
they were
that's
just
awesome.
angry. They were angry, and I loved it.
Right. And hey, man, they love their Rocky Top. Like I was a bartender in Athens for a few years, and
Oh,
obviously
bless your soul.
Georgia and Tennessee are a big rivalry. And one of the years that Tennessee was there, I made an extra $600-700 off people paying me to play Rocky Top. So I wasn't a Georgia fan myself, so I didn't have any shame in playing it for them. So, but yeah, man, they pay top dollar to hear that Rocky Top.
Oh yeah, they do. Oh yeah, they do.
um, that's funny though, man. This Tennessee game this last year against Ole Miss, they threw like, what was it, mustard on the field? Were they throwing anything at you guys when you won at
No,
the
the
game?
fans were actually, for the most part, really nice to us.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I know
Cool.
a lot of the
Cool.
fans, after it came up to some of our players, like on the obviously off the side of um the stadium, and just like, "Hey, can I get your gloves and stuff like that?" I
Mhm.
think it might have been Devin Gentry, I believe, might have given it. I think he gave his gloves away to a couple young Tennessee kids,
Okay.
and
Cool.
they that like blew up on social media because the mom posted about it. It's like, you've got Georgia State Panthers for life now,
Right.
and
Right. I was literally
it
about
was
to say
like,
that, man. Yeah.
their fans were honestly overall like fantastic. I know my parents went to the game, and they said all the fans were just so nice to them. So it's like, overall,
Really?
their fans are good people from what I've experienced.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah. That's always good to hear, man. I know, like, obviously besides like Southern and maybe Tech at times, like, we don't really have any like major or especially heated rivalries. So, when we play these bigger schools, like I didn't go to the Auburn game either. I couldn't make it. I was actually at a wedding that weekend. Um, but I heard the same thing that from the people that I did know that went, they're like, these Auburn fans were so nice. Like, I mean, people were very welcoming and things like that. So that's at least, nice to hear that when we go to these bigger
Yeah.
stadiums where we are vastly outnumbered as a fan base, that, we're we're not going to have mustard bottles thrown at us or anything.
No, everyone's been generally nice. Auburn fans, they were great as well. I mean, a bunch of their fans were coming up and apologizing to us after the game, saying y'all got screwed by the refs. That was not a catch. And I was like, I mean, I know, but
it's like even they're even saying it. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, everyone's been so nice outside conference wise. Obviously, Georgia Southern, different deal.
yeah.
We're nasty to each other though, so I guess that bounces out.
Right. Oh yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, man, that was awesome. Thank you for sharing that. That's I think as I'll say until we probably either pull off another upset against an SEC team or maybe win our conference championship, that may still be like the biggest win in program history. So that Tennessee win is huge. So thank you for sharing that for sure. So yeah, this next question, and I think you may have just answered this. So if you did, we'll definitely move on. But what was your favorite memory of being a Georgia State student athlete?
Oh yeah, definitely answer that.
Yeah. I don't know which one could top that. I don't know which one could top that.
The first bowl one was pretty close. I was pretty close.
Yeah, because just the significance of it,
Western Kentucky, it was. I mean, I think it was before the game ended at halftime. We were blaring music in the locker room in the stadium. Coach Elliott was like, I don't even have a pregame speech, and just let us dance. We were just dancing and partying. We're like, yeah, we knew we were going to win this. We were just so confident. And of course, we killed Western Kentucky that game. So
cool. Well, actually, you kind of have said it a couple of times. So, if you don't mind speaking on it, Coach Elliott, it seems like, man, he just has a very unique, and I mean that in a very positive way, a very unique way of getting you guys like pumped up for games. And, like you said, he played the two versions of Rocky Top, and then the first bowl game, he doesn't even have a pregame speech ready. And,
he had one ready. And he just threw it out the window.
So like, does he kind of free ball things? Like is he just, is he more, is it very calculated, like it's like, no, man, he knows what he's doing when he says, I don't have a pregame speech ready and all that.
He knows what he's doing. He had a pregame speech, I guaranteed, ready for the bowl game. But when he saw just how pumped up we were without it, he's like, we don't even need it at this point. He's like, just go have fun. That's all. Just go have fun. And then we played our outslaws. I mean, he is a very calculated person. Like, he obviously makes such detailed plans for the teams to get us prepared for games, get us ready for atmospheres. He always wants to make sure, even when we're playing in loud venues like Penn State, he was blaring fan noise inside at the practice facility. That's when we were back at 188, and he was just blaring fan noise to get us uncomfortable. He knows how to prepare us to games, and he's a player's coach though. He loves to mess with us and loves to just work us. I mean, you see him during warm-ups, he's running around slapping the shit out of all of us.
Right. No, he's gone viral a couple of times for that.
That's him. We all love that about him. We all love how it's just how he gets us pumped up. It's just how he is, and something we all enjoy.
Yeah, no, I can definitely tell he's a player's coach. I actually, my first interview was with Darren Granger, and he just couldn't stop talking about how much Coach Elliott's energy was just infectious, and you could tell the guy had your back and he supported you. And as a coach, that just matters so much. So I just, as a fan, obviously you as players and former players, you have personal relationships with them, but as a fan, I just so glad that that's the man that's leading our football team. So couldn't be more proud of Coach Elliott and what he's building here for sure.
Oh no, we're all proud of him, and even though I don't work with the football team directly anymore, I'll still obviously have stuff I have to go work with them, or get something from them. And anytime I'm down in the office, we're always catching up. He's asking how things are going. He's a great coach to have. I was blessed to be able to play under him.
Oh yeah, no, he's good people. Definitely. Cool. Sweet. So we will move on to a little bit. You kind of transitioned us a little bit there for it. You now have a role within Georgia State sports. It's not exactly just with the football team, but Georgia State sports in kind of a general sense. Can you kind of explain how your transition from student athlete to the graduate assistant and, the alumni association, like you said, the Panther Athletic Club. Can you kind of explain how that transition looked and how it kind of worked, and really what it felt like? Was it something that you felt like this was your calling, and that you felt like Georgia State is your home, and that's why you wanted to stay here, and things like that? I think that would definitely be something great to kind of expand on.
So after I got my undergrad, obviously, I wanted to go get my master's degree. I wanted to get an MBA. And one great thing that Charlie Cobb does is he makes sure to take care of the athletes first. So when an athlete is looking for a graduate assistantship, he will immediately put you in somewhere in the athletic department if that's where you want to be. He will find a place for you so you can continue to get it paid for and whatever.
That's awesome.
So I was looking, and I've always been told by friends and family that I'm pretty good at sales. I'm a great people person. I'm easy to talk to. I can talk to a damn brick wall.
Right.
So I was leaning towards either the ticket office or the development team, because both of them interact sales, and you plan events and interact with people face to face, which I like. And at the time, the ticket office was completely full. So there was an opening up in the development office of Panther Athletic Club. So I went for that, and they obviously offered me the position to be there, and I end up working with the ticket office every day, hand in hand. We work together. But it just kind of felt natural to me. Like I wanted to stay at Georgia State. I didn't want to leave. Like a bunch of my friends and family. My family's obviously lives here in Georgia, so I'm close to them. But a bunch of my friends go to Georgia State. I didn't want to necessarily leave them and go all the way across the country, as they're still I'm extremely close to them. So I was like, I want to stay at Georgia State. This is my home. I don't want to leave anywhere else. They have a great MBA program. I get a chance to get the experience in where I want to work in sales, and specifically athletics as well. I really want to work in athletics after I graduate. So just get all opportunities lined up for me perfectly, and there was no sense in turning it down. I had to be here.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, man. No, I mentioned earlier, I think you guys are doing an incredible job, you especially, and I'm just glad you felt like Georgia State was your home, because I feel the same. Like I don't work for the school, but obviously graduated from there, and now have decided to take quite running this account is fun, and doing this podcast is fun, guys, but it does take a lot of your time sometimes. So and I have a full-time job, like a full-time career outside of this. So, I just love being a part of the Panther family, and, I talking to people like you, everybody essentially feels the same way. And it's just, it's a great feeling all around. So,
oh yeah,
that's awesome. Cool. Well, now we will kind of go into a little bit about, your job and the aspects behind it. So, we were talking about, the alumni and the Panther Athletic Club, which is essentially the, alumni association for Georgia State. So Georgia State, pretty popularly is known as having a large alumni base, because, we have, I think it's even all over the football, well, not all over, but a couple places in the football stadium that, we have the largest student body in the entire state. So with that, we have a large alumni base. Maybe the alumni base, has grown over the last 10 years. It's not an alumni base that has always been very large. But, I know you run, like, maybe not run, but at least, behind the scenes on some of these alumni events, like the tailgates and things like that. Have you guys seen a recent increase in people that are attending these types of events? Like, is it, we just won our second straight bowl game 3 out of the last 4 years. Have you seen from maybe the first bowl game, or, a bowl game a couple years ago, that there has been an increase of people? Because, it wasn't a sellout crowd for the Camellia Bowl, but I'll be honest, that was way more people than I was expecting on Christmas Day. So I would think that there has been an increase. So if you want to kind of, shed a little light on that.
No, I mean, there definitely has been an increase. Obviously, it's still building. COVID did a number to all fan bases across the U.S., not just Georgia State, but everyone from Georgia Tech to Georgia Southern, Detroit, to Nebraska, to just everywhere. COVID just didn't number because people are still hesitant to come back out of it.
Right.
But we've really seen that our fans are passionate about our team and how well Coach Elliott's doing and where our team is going. I mean, back-to-back bowl wins. And we've changed up some of our event space as well. So I know for the Panther Athletic Club standpoint, when I was still playing, they used to host a giant tailgate outside on the plaza in a big white tent.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a good crowd there from what I heard. They had a couple hundred or so people show up each home game for that.
Mm-hmm.
But Lee, who is my boss and the head of the Panther Athletic Club, me and her discussed, and we wanted to move it somewhere where it could feel more like a home, more like a bar. And so we moved it to State House Grill, which is inside the stadium. It is behind the scoreboards. It's like the left-hand side, but it's the old grill restaurant that the Braves used. So downstairs is a complete bar. We hung up some new TVs in there, and we provide alcohol and food all free of charge, of course, for our donors who donate a certain level and above. But that has become so popular. I think the first home game this year was our first time ever using the space. I think we had 240 people showed up, and by the last home game, we were up to 350.
Nice.
Like, people have just loved it. We've been doing renewals for the past 2 weeks since we've really been back at work. And one thing I've noticed on the calls is talking to our donors is everyone loved that experience. They got to they finally had a place where they could call home, where they could all rally together before the game, get some cheers in, and go out to go to their seats. And so the attendance in terms of those events has just gotten better. I feel like since actually COVID has passed.
Right.
Since we're able to have somewhat normal events.
Right.
Our attendance has gotten better than the past. People have realized just what this program can bring and what our future is like, and they're wanting to come out and support now.
Yeah. No. I actually was one of the 300, 450 people that you said at the last one. And yeah, I'm right there with everybody else. I thought it was very cool. The food was great. Free alcohol. Who can complain about that? You know?
Exactly.
And you know, obviously the white tent tailgate is not getting to walk very far, but with the State House Grill, like, you're already in the stadium, so you walk out of the little like sectioned off area and you're basically at your seats. So no, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and you know, we'll definitely be attending every single one that I can going forward. Those were a lot of fun. Definitely.
We definitely hope you can attend and more, bring more fans there. We love it. And we're obviously this was kind of our trial year for it to make sure it was something that people liked, and obviously people loved it. So we're hoping to expand it a little more. Hopefully this upcoming year, and see what we can do. Obviously it's a long ways out to the start of the season, but
right.
But we really enjoyed it.
Cool. Sweet. So my next question, you again have kind of segued into it for me. So thank you for that. And, you know, I'll give a little context before I ask this question. This is something that I brought up to Darren Granger when I interviewed him, right? And he loved the idea of it, like absolutely loved the idea of it. It's something that I thought, you know, Georgia State should maybe look into, because our students, you know, don't show up to football games as much as we would maybe like, but I think this could kind of help. Have you guys ever considered doing anything like a post-game concert where like, admission to the concert would be your football tickets, your game ticket, and then, you know, afterwards have a concert, you know, like midfield or, you know, in one end zone or something like that, to kind of increase interest amongst the students, because Georgia State has, you know, such a large student body and a very diverse student body, and that's something I love about Georgia State. And I think if a lot of these students could get out to the games and, you know, experience a winning football team, which is what we have now on the field, and all of that, you know, they'll stay and be lifelong fans, but they kind of need something to draw them in. So is that something you guys have ever really considered? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so in terms of planning those events, that doesn't really follow under my department. That's more the marketing. We don't deal with students. Because we're going after alumni donors. That's who I work with. I don't our department doesn't work with students. That'd be more of a marketing question. But I will say I do like the idea. The one concern is setup, because we don't want the field to be torn up in ruin from a concert. We want to place stuff down to protect the field.
Right.
Because the field is obviously a large investment. It's a lot of money, and we don't want to be torn up from a concert.
Yeah.
So that's the one issue that I could possibly see come with that. Now, if
Okay.
you have like, I know like typically with concerts, you want fans on the field to come on the field as well and like surround the band or whatever, or whoever's playing. Now, if we can say scrap that and maybe just have someone playing, just everyone stays in their seats, it could be a viable option to bring them out like on a movable stage.
Okay.
But it's definitely something like maybe marketing can work on in the future. I know typically we've done in the past, we've done not concerts, movie nights and stuff like that after the games. But concerts definitely something we'd have to look into in the future. That'd be something for the marketing team though to see if it's actually feasible or not.
Okay, cool. Yeah, if I ever have anybody from the marketing team on, I will definitely send that question their way because Atlanta, whether it's hip hop or some of the rock and roll bands here, like the music scene is so vibrant in the city, and I think it's impossible to talk about Atlanta and not mention the music. So I think that definitely could be something that if it is possible to pull off, I think the marketing team should definitely try and explore that avenue if they can. But cool. Sweet. So moving on, I will go ahead and wrap it up a little bit here. Got a couple questions for you. This one is I've asked most of the student athletes. You're a former student athlete, so I'll ask you as well. Just because I as someone who used to play sports but was not good enough to play at a D1 level, I definitely recognize that if you're playing sports at a D1 level, you're just an athlete. So if you could play another D1 sport, which one would it be and why?
That's a good question there.
Yeah.
I never really thought about that, to be honest. I know I did in high school. I did some track and field, shot put, and discus.
Okay. I bet you'd be damn good at that.
I don't know if I'd really want to do that in college, so to speak. I think baseball would be fun. I didn't really play baseball much other than when I was like a little kid. And then I like obviously play with friends once in a while. We'll all just go to the park and play some ball. But I think baseball would be fun to do. I think that'd be one of my other sports I do. I can't do basketball. I suck at basketball. That's not gonna happen. Not a chance. Maybe 6'6", but I cannot ball in that sense.
Gotcha.
But I think probably baseball.
Okay. Yeah, man. I bet you could hit some bombs, man. Definitely cool. And like I said, it's if you're athletic enough to be a Division I athlete, you could probably make it in another sport as well. I'll go ahead and I'll go out on a branch there and say that one. Cool. Well, I got one more question. So just, again, can't thank you enough for joining me, Chris. I've thoroughly enjoyed talking with you. Learned a bunch. That story about the Tennessee football game was awesome. I know my listeners are going to love that one. So thank you for that again. But last question for you. It's kind of a little two-parted, I guess. But what would be one thing about yourself and Georgia State sports that you would want my listeners to know about? It don't have to be, the only thing, just one thing.
About myself, I do not like talking about myself. That's one thing I'm always bad at.
Well, hey, man, that's why people are listening. They're trying to get to know you, man.
I guess just about myself in relation to Georgia State football, I guess, or in general.
Just in general, but you can definitely do it in relation to Georgia State football if you want.
Oh. I mean, I'll just do in general then. It makes
okay.
it easier.
Yeah. No. Yeah, for sure.
I would say in general, like I'm a big foodie. I love cooking. I got that from my parents.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if how much you've tailgated on the plaza this year. If not, you should definitely come next year. But my parents are a part of the state of Atlanta tailgate group. And they're the ones who.
Wait, I think I know who your dad might be.
The pizza.
The pizza. Dude, that's your dad?
My parents are the ones who make the pizza at all the at all the home football games. They bring the pizza oven. We make the dough from scratch, sauce from scratch, do the whole shebang. So I learned from them, and I love cooking because of them. So that's one thing about me. So yeah, you
Hell
probably
yeah, that's a perfect answer, man. And no, dude, I've had that pizza at basically every tailgate. Like that. That's crazy, man. I'm gonna have to let them know for sure. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Cool. No, man, that's too cool. And again, that was a perfect answer. So my any of the student athletes listening that may come on the show later, that's Chris. Chris nailed it with his answer. That's what I mean. Because yeah, I want this to be an opportunity for the student athletes and former student athletes to really be able to be themselves and show their personalities and things like that. So that's why I ended with that question is just what's one thing as we're ending the interview that you want the listeners to know about you. Darren was that he's a very chill guy, that he's cool, calm, and relaxed. And if you listen to the interview, that's definitely what you're going to pick up on. So no, definitely, I think that was a perfect answer. So thank you for that.
I'm glad I can make it that way.
Oh yeah, no, man, that was awesome.
But I guess in terms of your second question, you said in terms of Georgia State football, what would people like to know?
Mm-hmm.
Is you just got to realize we're such a young program. We've made such large steps. This is our 12th season coming up, I believe. And in 12 years, we've been to 5 bowl games, won 3, and we've only been in the FBS out of the 12 years, I think 6 years, 7. So we are such a young program. We've had these massive strides that other programs have not accomplished. I mean, I forget which team I was watching the bowl games this season. There was another group of 5 team that has been around longer than Georgia State, probably 20 plus years. They just made it to their second bowl game.
Right.
We've done so much in so little time to build this up. Stick with us. We're going to be winning that conference championships here soon. I truly think we can win it next year.
I'm glad you said that. I think the same. I definitely do. You know what? I'll even say it right here, right now. I'm going to call Georgia State is at least playing in the Sun Belt Championship next year.
I think
because this team is legitimate. This team knows how good they are, and we're starting to get the attention of recruits. I couldn't stop watching the huddle highlights of some of the recruits we have coming in. Like some of these kids are damn good ball players. So I just couldn't be more excited.
We're able to win consistently, and a lot of teams can say that. I mean, in the early years we struggled, obviously. The early years of the program, but Coach Elliott has really turned it around, and we are a winning team now. We are known for being one of the best teams in the conference that compete. We beat our first ranked team last year, almost beat another ranked team, but that's the story. But then we got a great home schedule next year, and people don't realize that we got UNC coming to town.
Right.
UNC, our first Power 5 team, coming to town, who we have a great shot at beating. They don't have their starting quarterback anymore. He went to the NFL draft, so we really can beat them. They lost a lot of guys. We can beat them at home. We can beat them at home. We play Army, Charlotte. I mean, our home schedule is just
we got
incredible.
Southern at home next year.
And Southern. And the rest of the Sun Belt schedule is kind of up in the air at the moment.
Yeah.
It's kind of depending on conference realignments. We're waiting to see if Marshall, ODU, JMU, and Southern Miss are able to join in this year. If they are,
is it that I know it's been official. Is the kind of the issue is that is the time frame of it? Are they going to be able to join the conference this next season, or is it going to have to be the season after?
That is the issue.
Gotcha.
From what we've heard, those teams want to join this year. They want to starting July 1st. They want to be in our conference. It's whether they can get out of their contracts with Conference USA and then whatever conference JMU's in. So that's just we're kind of waiting to hear if that's going to be happening or not. So the rest of our schedule's up in the air, but Charlotte, UNC, Georgia Southern, 3 top tier programs at home. There's no reason people shouldn't be coming out to see them. It's gonna be
that UNC game. I'm expecting to sell out for sure.
First home game of the year as well. First home game is that game. So it's going to be exciting. I want everyone to come loud and proud. I want everyone to be tailgating their asses off pregame.
Oh,
come in. If you're drunk, I love it. I want you to cheer loud and proud.
Exactly, man. Exactly. The drunker, the better. Exactly. And hopefully ESPN won't screw us and give us a noon kickoff on that one. Hopefully we can at least get 3:30 or 7 p.m. And,
we can only hope. We can only hope.
We can only hope. But I think obviously when it comes to those later kickoffs, they are earned. You know what I mean? They do give them to the better performing teams. And that's exactly what Georgia State was last year. So I don't understand how you can start the season 1-4 and end up the season, 8-5 and destroying your, bowl opponent, and people not be like, yeah, this is a team that made a turn, So
exactly. The team doesn't give up. That's one thing.
Right. Exactly.
We're always going to fight. No one's going to give up. And that shows.
Exactly.
That shows we are the most resilient team.
Oh yeah.
In the NCAA. I could argue that.
Oh yeah. I think I could make that argument as well, for sure. Cool. Well, damn, man, now I'm pumped for football season.
I know, can't come soon enough. But for now on, we got to finish our basketball team. We got to get them to turn the season around. And
exactly. I will be there Thursday night, man. I will be there Thursday night cheering loud and proud, man. So I'm sure I'll see you there. Like I said, I don't think
I'll be there.
Exactly. Yeah. I was like, if there's a Georgia State sporting event, I know Chris is going to be there. So.
I'm there.
Cool. Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for joining me tonight, Chris. This was awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed talking with you, man. I'd love to have you on again a little bit later, maybe around the springtime or maybe a little over the summer or something like that. And, we can kind of touch base on, some of the things that we even talked about tonight, so
I'm happy to.
Awesome.
I guess I will say, I want to leave with one last thing real quick.
Yeah, of course, man.
I just want to say how proud of our fan base for how they're coming off of this last season so far. Currently, we have almost, probably as of tomorrow, we'll quadruple our numbers in season tickets in January alone. That's impressive. And that's coming off of how much we've won. And I'm proud of our fan base for showing up now. And we need everyone there then come the fall.
Hell yeah, man. And hey, I'm proud of the fan base. I am one of those people that bought those season tickets. So yeah, man. And guys, I'm telling you right now, anybody listening, the season tickets, they're very, very consumer friendly with the price. Okay. It's something that, I know you hear the term season ticket and you may be like, I just don't know if I can swing it. Take a look at it. You probably can. So with that being said, I just think, to add on to what you said, the selling 4 times over in January, let's keep it going, guys. Let's keep it going. Let's shatter these records, because it's what these kids deserve, and it's what we're going to give them.
Mm-hmm. We're going to have a good fan base this year.
The
stadium's going to be packed. Stadium's going to be packed.
Oh yeah. If me and Chris have anything to say about it, it's going to be packed. Cool. Awesome. Well, again, man, I cannot thank you enough. You have been just an awesome guest. Really, felt like you showed your personality so much. So can't thank you enough for that, man. But like I said, I'd love to have you on a little bit later. And until the next time, man. Well, I guess actually until Thursday, until I see you in a couple days. But have a good night, man. Thank you again for coming on. And as always, go Panthers.
No, thank you for having me. Go Panthers.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Have a good night.
You too.